First score. First score.
Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Ooh, yeah. We made it. We made it. We made it. Welcome, welcome. All the people. Okay, let me get everything set up. It's been a long, short week for me. I don't know how to explain that. I ended up having the girls. I wasn't supposed to have them this week, but they wiggled themselves back over here. So, well, they wiggled more days. They never left. So, why they're not coming up? What are you doing? Do I need to close down some of these things? I don't think so. Oh, you probably trying to. Oh, are you in the way? I don't feel like that would be stopping this from doing this though. So let's just close that, and then we're just gonna open. Let's get all our chats open because I don't have access to. Ooh, hold on. Let's go back and let's. All right, all right. Okay. All right, let's get this other chat opened up. Can I just open it from here? Will they let me do that? Am I asking too much? I might be. Okay, so of course, this is our first week doing new stuff. And we don't always know how to do new stuff when we first start doing it, right? So, what if I click, I don't need you doing that. Okay, are you back on? Did I turn you off and now you back on? How about that? Okay, so I have that chat up now. So now I should have access to all of the chats. For some reason it wouldn't let me on TikTok, but Um, it said, I mean, it let me on there all this week, and then today it asked me for a key or something, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, and it didn't ask me for that before, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. That information, I don't. I'm not sure. Anyway, how y'all doing? I see the people. I see some throughout everything. I see people moving around in the chats. Whew. Mm. All right, all right. So, late night with Coach Catasha is just us coming in talking about all of the relationship and kinky tea of the week. And I've actually been compiling things throughout the week. I'm so proud of myself because I don't be doing that. I don't be caring what them people got going on. I do not. I promise. I want to tell you that I'm better with that, but I'm not. I really want it to let me pop this out. It is annoying that I can't do that. Oh, you probably know why I can't. Maybe because it's showing me. Hold on, just I'm gonna get this. I am smart. Here we go. Okay, so now if I go in here, all right, all right. Oh, I don't know what any of that stuff. Let me get out of here. I'm touching stuff. Oh no, wait a minute. That looks familiar. Is this for me or for other people? Oh, I don't care what they doing. Okay. So where do I go to? Do I click on that? Okay, so now it should say, even if I wasn't though, I should still be able to pop that chat out. Not being able to pop out the chat is annoying. Mark Zuckerberg, get to it. Anyway, so let's talk about the things that I've collected for the week. First of all, um, let me let me get up my notes that I've been keeping up with. Ooh, so firstly, so I know that we all at this point seen that Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are dating. I saw that this all debuted during, excuse me, during a fundraiser gala for her. Let me tell you something. My good sis is smart, if nothing else. If they gonna be nosy, baby, make them pay the price. Make them pay the fee. Make them put up the bucks. If you're gonna be nosy, I love that. I love all of that, and I think I saw that they went golfing together, and he like picked out her outfits and stuff. And I really like this for her. And okay, I don't know a lot about basketball, but I did when I was doing the research and stuff. I did see that people were like uh, making homophobic homophobic remarks about him and saying that he does very sus things and all that. I love that even more because Megan is the kind of girl that people expect to be with a hood dude. That's the expectation, is that she gonna be with those are kind of the girls that be with those kind of guys. And I love that the girlies are shaking it up. I love that JT got her a little alt black. I love that. And I love that, she's with someone um who doesn't necessarily cling to masculinity in the ways that other the other men expect him to. Um, and again, I also thought it was really cute. Like, if you think about being a young 23, 24, whatever, however old she is, in being in your 20s at all, and like just being able to go out and have fun and laugh with a partner, like it is so much different than having to be the stunny couple, having to be the dope boy, the hot girl, the city girl, the street dude. That aesthetic is so much more interesting. So much more interesting. And so I'm super excited for her. And also, that is a type of love that black women are not necessarily afforded. And, excuse me, it's not something that's readily given to black women, especially black women that are like Megan Thee Stallion. And I say that because the same way that there is an expectation for the type of men that she would date, there's an expectation for what those type of men would also date. And so, um, oh, hold on. This is my nephew. Hold on. I got to answer this. I don't play about the kids. Hey, baby. It is. What's going on? I know. I'll be there in the morning. It's gonna be early though. What time are you gonna be up? Okay, no, it's gonna be way earlier because I work. So I'm gonna like be that way at like 8. But I'm just gonna come drop my stuff and just say bye before I have to get back to work because I got to be back here by 10. Yes, I appreciate that. I love you. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, bye. Oh, my nephew's going to college. What am I supposed to do? Like, these kids is going to college. Oh, I'm not finna cry. I just put an eyeliner on. This is the first time I put an eyeliner on this month. I'm not finna cry. What? Oh my gosh, these kids are going to college. Little babies that I held and threw up on me. Anyway, so I saw that for her. I loved that. Um, I loved the idea of her getting to be in her soft girl era, um, and also just being in a relationship where she get to have fun, right? And that the person is also willing to have fun with her and not scared to like dance and you know pick out outfits and say little cute things and all those types of things. And a lot of times those little small things make such a huge difference. But if you don't get them or you don't have access to them, you don't know what that's like. I remember one time, I was talking to somebody I probably shouldn't have been talking to, and I was like, me always tell me I'm pretty. Always call me beautiful all day, like every day. And she was just like, really? My friend was like, really? And I was like thinking it wasn't that big of a deal, but she was like, no, it's a big deal. And I'm like, oh. So, what you've been around, what you're accustomed to, I mean, it is. It can. Everybody deserves that life. They deserve to be able to be, be a princess and be like your gums being dry from smiling and your cheeks hurt and all that stuff, and being able to have fun and not just having to be a bad bitch stuck in a corset, um, you know, next to somebody who's you finna have to fight for the rest of your life for cheating and doing all that. Nobody wants to live that life. Nobody wants to do that. So I absolutely wish them the best. I hope all the greatest things come from it, and that uh, that that it grows into something cute. I hope that it grows into something cute. I mean, it's already really cute. Like, but I do, there are people saying that they think it's like a publicity stunt. I saw that Shaq was saying that he didn't think it was gonna last for like 6 weeks, but like you you had years. You had years for you to fuck it up. When you just think he only needs 6 weeks, like you played in that woman's face for years. Okay, give that man a chance. No, 6 weeks. I feel like you're underestimating him, especially since you played in that woman's face for years, years, and like some of that makes me feel like that's the expectation, is that you know she's supposed to be with somebody who's gonna play in her face. Like that's a part of being a bad bitch, is that you have to play with somebody. You have to be with somebody who's playing in their face. And so, me, I don't usually be in this business, but having to do the research and getting this show together and doing all this stuff, I don't usually make a habit of discussing people. But I do if it's gonna be good, and I do want that for her. I do love her. Now, what the rest of the stuff we got to talk about, I'm not. Hey, don't don't hold it on me, okay? Don't hold it on me. But I usually, again, don't like to get too much into people, but we gonna get into some stuff today. But yeah, so I hope that she get a couple years out of it. I hope she gets to experience what it's like to be a just be a girl and be with somebody who wants to be with you because they like you, or because again, yeah, y'all said he wasn't like that. Y'all said he wasn't on this team, and then he went and pulled the second baddest bitch in the game. Okay, y'all said that man was sweet. That man went and pulled the sugar honey iced tea. Okay. You call it what you want. I'm gonna call it successful. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, and I hope they get married. I hope that I hope that she lives her Sierra life. That she's in her Sierra arc, and that she gets to live that good Russell Wilson life. That's what I wish for her. This coming from your big auntie. I'm manifesting it right now. See that? See? And then make sure she okay. But she get to keep her. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Um, but yeah, I love that for her. I love that, baby. I wouldn't know what to do with her on a golf course though. I did. I was on the golf team in high school, but boy, I was in there playing in people's face. I ain't know what I was. I was. I was. Was it Coach Wofford? Who was the high school? Who was the coach? That was the first year we were supposed to have it. We got a brand new white teacher. We didn't usually have. I mean, we had those, but um, many of my teachers were black. A lot of them. So we get new ones, especially when it be the football coaches. You're like, whoa, the football coach is black, but he's football. Was it Wofford? Hatford? Whatever. I think it was Wofford. Coach Wofford. Yeah. Anyway. Oh man. I was not out there doing nothing, baby. But I was out there playing in his face. But if you put me out there, I wear the outfit to be cute. I absolutely would. If Bruce took me to play golf and he was taking me to play real golf, I would just wear a short skirt just to make him lose. I'll pull my lips at the side too. Just to ensure I'm successful. I would. I would. Maximum cheater over here. So I just think that's cute. Megan, yeah, Annie, I wish you the best. Okay, have all the fun, do all the things, and just enjoy your life and enjoy your boo. Okay. um, what else? Hold on, I had some other stuff too. Man, it was so much stuff. Oh, and okay, and then this I saw this later on after I because I had that down. I saw this later on that apparently, allegedly, okay, her old thing that dropped the diss track. Oh, these boys be so pressed. Like, imagine. Like, gosh, Megan is over there sitting on a freaking North Korean landmine. That's what she over there sitting on. It's gotta be. That's gotta be. Cause why is you got that little lady name in your mouth? She I think she had like two boyfriends since you saw them pictures of that gala and you got in the booth immediately. You still had your slides and your socks on. You was still musty from the day before yesterday. You were in there rotating. Because you can't stand it. That's crazy. Now, watch, he ain't even write no song, and that was just something mess that I read. I would never know. If it ain't after 7, I don't want to hear it no way. So, but congratulations, baby girl. I love that for you. Um, let's see what else, and then the Coldplay the Coldplay CEO scandal. Oh my gosh! So I put it on the list, and then I just kept having to add to the list because like stuff just kept going on. First of all, how many kids did this man have? Because kids just kept coming out making videos saying that finding out my dad, and I think that it was just they just got to be white people because knowing that we don't know the difference and that y'all all just that any of y'all could just be like, yeah, that's my daddy, and we ain't gonna know the difference. We don't know how to tell. But it was a whole lot of people making videos like, how many children do we have? Um, but oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, I honestly, and I'm being so for real, as a married woman, I feel like that is the worst way to find out. I feel like any way that somebody else has to tell you is terrible. But if it's millions of somebody else, like if everybody else know, like if all the people, if every people knows that your husband was in these streets, what do you even what do you even do? Like, cheat on me in private. Take her to the zoo amphitheater. Why are you at places that got cameras? What are you doing? And y'all in a box. Baby, you need to be in the 300 sections in the dark. Y'all in the box at a Coldplay concert? And then I read the apology. Boy, who are you mad at? Who are you mad at? Who are you mad at? You mad at Coldplay because you was out with your weenie on somebody else's back? Like, who are you upset at? What kind of privacy did you expect in the box at a Coldplay concert? You, boy. Oh man, like that is so terrible. I don't even know Like, again, so like, say most regular people, okay, you married, you work at the post office, okay, you cheat with a coworker, somebody see y'all at the Piggly Wiggly sniffing avocados together. That person sends a picture to a lady that says she go to church with you and be like, "Ain't this your friend's husband?" And then that friend come to you and be like, "Is this Jonathan?" And then that's how it get found out, right? And so you got like 4 people who know you cheated, and they might tell a couple people, but and it's probably gonna get to about 100 people. Every person, all of the people, all of the people that exist, saw your husband up there leaning with it and rocking with it. That's none of your business. Get out of it. Leaning with it and rocking with it with another pair of boobs in his hands. Bro, cheetah, take. I'm telling y'all, that's what I be saying. My daddy used to cheat. He was stupid. He got caught too. But at least he was just taking her to boots and saddles and stuff, taking her to little juke joints. You taking her to a Coldplay concert and getting box seats, bro. You're in the box. They have concessions. You're getting her snacks. No, no. You finna have to see me, bro. Come outside. Come outside. Come outside. I just need to talk to you. I just need to talk to you right quick. Cause you playing you. Woo. There's a little bit of the old me. It showed up for a second. I was never that way. I was never that way. But it's okay. So then he got caught, and the lady he got caught with is also a coworker. So I seen a video from a lady who said that she was passed up for that job. That she had interviewed for that job and she was passed up for it. And then I seen all the videos from all these kids he's supposed to have. Then I seen the statement from the wife. And again, what she was saying was like, in front of my friends, bro? In front of my friends. You would do this in front of my friends? Yeah, man. Yeah. And so, and also, both of those people had partners. So the same way that Buddy White found out, her husband found out. Just like that, in the box. In the box. See, that's what I'm talking about. Because me, I go to that man LinkedIn, see what he look like. See what he look like. Ask him out for martinis and then ask him, do he want to go to Tulum? Girl, you better play with somebody else. Play with somebody else. I will take your child's father. You took mine. So, I mean, okay. So then we found out that both of them were married. Then um the they both resigned. They both had to resign because they both worked at the same company. So he was having an affair with a coworker. Just even like I have worked. Listen, I have worked all my life. I have worked since I was 17 years old. I did not work while I was in college, but when I got out of college, I started working. I worked for the full time up until the pandemic. Okay, I worked. I ain't never like nobody enough at a job to want to see you outside of it. Not never. Not never. I ain't never been at a job and been like, you know what? I would like to see you later. Absolutely not. I don't want to see you now. I don't want to be in here with you now. So I don't understand that. I have never had that desire I don't think I know I've never had a relationship with anybody that I've worked with. Look, I'm digging back. No, never have. But I don't even, I can't even think of nobody that I liked that I worked with. Because I am at work. I hate all of y'all. I hate. No, I don't. I know. No. So that just wasn't my life. Like I just did not see potential partners. I saw people who was clogging up my system. I saw people who was making me have to spend money and making more work for me. I saw people who were losing my documents and getting on my nerves. Like those people were not the people that I was like, you know what? I like Coldplay. No, absolutely not. So I just that's not I'm not in a place to like understand that. And apparently, so this is not how I saw it, but people were really upset at the woman, but not directing that anger toward the man. And again, Byron, equally, they were both in committed relationships with other partners. So there should be no one over the other. If anything, it should definitely be Byron because he's a CEO. She just was the HR, like the head of HR. So, and also like how long do y'all think that went on for them to like not really care? Like that's a pretty open place. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty public cheating date. You know what I mean? Like I just for both of y'all to be married, I just feel like y'all are hella irresponsible here. Like no, does no one have ADHD? Is nobody on the spectrum? Because I just feel like this is a pretty big question that got left out. And again, how I want to know, and I did not find this, of course, I'm probably never going to know, but how long were they dating? This feels real comfortable. This feels like a comfortable activity. You know what I mean? Like they was hugged up in the front by the glass. Good vision. I don't know. I don't know. Now they've been out here cheating for a long time. And now like y'all don't have to look y'all don't lost everything. Both of you had to resign. This gonna be attached to your names forever. Like, is this even worth it? Is that worth it? I don't I I worked really, really hard to get to where I am. Really, really hard. And I am not interested in doing anything to sabotage that process. Like nothing. I don't want to do nothing. I'm not interested. Like no, thank you. And I'm being super sincere. Like no. No. That is I can't build the things that I want with behaving like that. I can't. How can you? Um okay, hold on. Stuff is going down. Okay, okay. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I know what I was about to do. Man, oh man. No. Anyway, so yeah. Um, do y'all think they should have lost their jobs? Like, how do y'all feel about it being an offense that causes you to lose your job? Is that is that going to be the norm going forward? Is that cheating? So did they lose the jobs for cheating, or did they lose the jobs for the um, attention they were bringing to the company? And so that's exactly why I'm right now. I am crafting a course for celebrities and other people that like are that is based on the foundation of we there are okay, so you know Uncle Shannon. So if I had to be honest about that, I'm not surprised, but not surprised in the way of like how everybody's like telling him or whatever. I don't think that people realize how old Shannon Sharp is. Like Shannon Sharp was born like in the Jim Crow South. I think he was born like 1950 like something. Like he was born into Jim Crow, right? And so he was born into Jim Crow into the South in Mississippi, I believe. I think it's Mississippi. And growing up and being an athlete in those places, you also are privy to a lot of spaces that a lot of other black men are not privy to, but you are also privy to those spaces under conditions, right? And one of those conditions is that you don't get too frisky with white women. That they don't want you in the space, but if you're really good in the South, if you're really good at football, or you're a really good athlete, really good racer, you're really good at any kind of sport, they will tolerate you. They will make spaces for you to to thrive, so that they can reap the benefits of that investment. But if you grow up in those spaces and you grow resentment for that treatment, and a lot of athletes in the Jim Crow South had or grew up during those time frames, had very strong opinions about the way that white men tried to keep white women away from them. And so it was always a type of risque from his developmental standpoint. Think about when he learned attraction, when his hormones kicked in, how old he was, the environment that he was in. That was one of the forefront um, repayment things that you could do as a black man that was just risky enough to prove that you do belong in these spaces. And that has always been white women. And having that proximity has over time grown into a symbiotic relationship between people who normally wouldn't accept you into people who would accept you because of the access that you have and the things that you provide. And it's so disheartening to hear some of the rhetoric that was being spewed about black women. And is usually the case in these matters. You become so it's not angry. You become so immersed in the idea of proving yourself. You become immersed in being an older man and trying to woo a younger woman and being successful in doing that, and having the tools to do that, and using those tools because you know you have them. I think that what has happened, because over time this has always happened. This is something that all communities know. We know it. Um, they know it. White women have come out and said that they are conditioned to find partners that are providers. That is what successful white women are bred to do. That's what they are um, conditioned to do, right? We are conditioned to survive. Black women are just, you gotta survive no matter what. Like, it ain't look for nobody to help you survive. It is, you have to survive. And so it's just a very different um, relationship for us. And even in the midst of that, usually if there is a black woman present, she's there doing the struggle. She's there, paying for these little things and letting you use her car and doing all this stuff. And then when the fame comes, those women are not there then when you're building it and getting it going. But once you get it, they're there. That's where they are told to show up to. They're in those spaces. And I think the difference now is, like, that's always happened. It's always been that way. But the difference now is that these younger girls are not prey. They're not prey. You are thinking that you are running that old school game on them, and you just an older man and they're just a silly young duck and don't know what's going on. Baby, she retired at 23. I need 60K. That's all I need. 60K. But if I had asked him for 60K, I'm sure he would have told me no. I'm sure he would have told me no. And I'm going to do real stuff with it. Like, I'm really going to grow my company and I'm really going to do like dope things with it. But he would have told me no. He would have told me no. He would have told you no too. He told his own kids no. And so that's what happens when we show what we value. And it also shows the power of sexual discipline. Oh gosh, I cannot stress this enough. As someone who frequently has conversations with people who have way more money than me, way more money than me, about like how to not get caught in these traps, how to not, you have to be quicker than that, okay? You are not running game on nobody. You have to know that you're not running game on anybody. So you cannot let that, you cannot let that. And like, he has another lawsuit in it for someone else, and I'm just like, we mm, we have to address this, right? And again, it's I always I every all of this research was talking about, Shannon Sharp's discipline. He's always talking about discipline, 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 showing discipline, having discipline, blah blah blah. But we again do not equate the our sexual health into that category, because you also, as a preservation of your legacy, as a preservation of your body, as a preservation of your mental health, need to be protecting your sexual health as well. You need to be putting that on the forefront. Oh gosh. Like, and so now when and if you don't have the discipline for it, you don't have discipline. Like, you can have discipline in other places, but if you do not have discipline in a place that becomes detrimental to your legacy or detrimental to your health, if I don't have discipline in eating late, if I don't have discipline in waking up early, if I don't have discipline in the language that I use, if I don't have sexual discipline, I'm literally harming my body, but I'm also possibly tarnishing my legacy. It is going to be so difficult for him to come back from this. And all of that talk about discipline, and I heard how hard he is on other people about not being disciplined. And so that's the reason why he made it today, because the same way that you spend that energy, it is a fly in here, you son of a. I can't say nothing because I'm in and out of my house all day. But I'm upset. And he gotta go. Got a zapper. He gotta go. Um, but if you can be so straightforward in other people, and if you can call out the discipline or the non-discipline of other people, then it is also important that we're calling out your lack of sexual discipline as well. And your lack of sexual discipline has likely tarnished your legacy, that you are not going to go on as just a Hall of Famer, man with, a podcast who, had a interesting run with lots of celebrities. This is going to be on your record. This is going to be who you are. And so no one's going to take any more conversations about discipline from you. No one is going to be interested in hearing any conversations about discipline from you, right? Because you don't, that lady took your money. You let a kid take your money. And you had all the warning signs, everything that you needed to know to keep you keep you on the right track. And because you did not have sexual discipline, you did not listen. And these were people whose opinion you valued, right? These are not just strangers. These are people who know you, who knew you were messing with young girls, who knew you were out in the streets like that. And they were telling you, like, this is not healthy for you. You are going to lose everything. And you didn't believe them because you don't have sexual discipline. You were thinking with your growing. And so going forward, you're not going to be able to ride that horse. You're not going to be, Shannon Sharp of, the military discipline. You're going to have to rebuild that. And it doesn't mean that you will not continue to show discipline in those other areas, but I also think that it is important to sit in your accountability, which I know that you are. I know that you are, but think about the way that you treated those around you, and understand why it is that you are taking the brunt that you're taking right now. When you get too high up on that horse and you get to fussing at people and thinking that you are moving in a space that's better than them, you will likely fall on your face. So I wish you continued success, of course. I never want to see you, struggling or suffering or anything like that. But, call me. Definitely find me so that we can start working on your sexual discipline. It's important that you learn a lesson here. And if you want to recover, you're going to have to learn that lesson loudly. It's not going to be something you're going to be able to sneak and do and just say, oh, I did a thing. Like, no, you're going to have to learn it loudly. So, but good luck. You'll bounce back. You do still have uh, a really, what is the word I want? Golly. Popular. Gosh. It was so many other words in a way. You have a really popular show right now, which is not something that a lot of people can say. So you can use that to your advantage. But it is going to take some work. It is. So, good luck. I'll send you my press kit. Maybe we can chat about it. And just see. Just good luck, man. That man. And to Shorty, I hope y'all was taking notes, because maybe she ran a game. Um, so What are some six? What are what are some red flags? Some red flags that you would need to look for if you are a celebrity. And again, this is a part of what I do, and I've had to have these conversations just off of having conversations with people who are really important. So let's talk about some of the red flags that you would be on the lookout for if you were worried about power imbalances. Okay. Um, so if you have someone who is um, setting gift bombs, if you get somebody who is, you feel like they are trying to not necessarily gift bombs, but requests for gifts. If you start seeing a pattern of requests for different types of high end gifts, so usually when you're dating, whatever you offer is what's supposed to be the exchange. But usually, if you have someone who has ulterior motives, they may have requests about things that they want. That doesn't always mean that, but it's usually high ticket items or, some outrageous type thing. So make sure you are keeping that in mind. Um, Somebody who always has a phone out. Listen, if you are just talking to someone, you need to make sure that you have an NDA. And listen, I'll sign the NDA. I'll sign it with my eyes closed. I don't care nothing about the NDA because I ain't gonna remember when we get out of here anyway. But you need to get an NDA and have the lawyer draw up the NDA and put the terms in there, the terms and conditions that you would like for people that you plan on spending intimate time with. Okay. Phone etiquette. I have a whole class on that phone etiquette, but the basics are don't ever type anything that you don't want to have to read out loud. Um, in some domestic violence cases, the judge will make you read the messages and things out loud because they won't want to read them, and you gonna have to read that out loud. So don't ever type nothing that you don't want to have to read out loud or to appear in a chat or appear on a blog. No face, no case, baby. And also, we need to zoom in. We need to take out as many things in the background as we can. Okay, if you're gonna be sending photos, it need to be just the object, nothing else. And so it is always, always, always no face, no case. Okay. Vacations need to be in places that are obscure. You have money. Okay. You do not have to be places where people are going to put you on a kiss cam. Okay. There's plenty of little resorts that you can go to that you can have swim up bars, all that. And no, people won't be in your business like that. Especially if both of y'all cheating. Please be smart. That is whatever. Never take them people back to your house. Okay, you need to have a place where you can go, a place where you can meet them at, or whatever. But they are not to be on your property. You are not to be bringing them back and forward to your house or a place where you frequent often. So they don't need to be at the studio with you, not the studio that you regularly use. If you want to stunt in whatever and you want to take them to the studio, you need to go to another studio that you don't use all the time. Take your engineer with you. But you don't take them because they will pop up when you are not there, or they will pop up other times when you are there and you don't want them there. So be really picky about the people that you have around you. But also, I understand, you want hot people around you. You want whatever. But just be mindful of people who are overly like trying to push it, right? Because those are people. And even if it feels like if you should be able to choose. Okay? You are the chooser. They don't get to choose you. You choose. And when you make it for you choosing, you're going to choose someone that is good for you. If you just get caught up and you start having all these kids and all this stuff and it just turned into something else, that could derail your whole career, right? And even like we talked a little bit about Anthony Edwards, and he's a young kid and he came up in a really, really hard situation. So I know those are the effects of some of what we're seeing is the effects of having that difficult life and that difficult childhood and having to grow up so early. Um, but those are going to be six different souls that he's going to have to account for in the future, right? When those kids are 20 and 30, it's going to be back to back bombarding. Why weren't you there? Why weren't you there? Why weren't you there? And so it is right now, it just seems like it's cool to do that, but you have to think about your future self as well. And that is going to be really, really difficult for your future self to explain. And so it's a lot of things that people don't necessarily consider, especially safety. Oh gosh, if you're talking about, um, we're talking about barrier methods, other contraceptive methods, all those types of things. You never know what people are getting into. You never know what kind of stuff people have going on. So you have to make sure, baby, that you are taking care of your body, that you are getting tested often. And then, because you have a little more money, you do have the likelihood of having more access to people who want to have intimate connections with you, right? But all of those people are not, um, they're not, they don't have your best interest at heart. They're not trying to connect with you to, further their relationship. They're trying to trap you. They're trying to get you trapped. And so another thing that you can do is you can have a clear consent agreement. A clear consent agreement. If he had in those text messages that, again, don't type anything you don't want to have to read out loud or that you don't want to appear on a banner on a blog. If you write those things out and you type those things out and you have to come back to them, you have to come back and read them. God, I mean, there just has to be a level of but if I'm thinking about the text messages. Of course, I can't say them because we'll get blocked. We will absolutely get taken out of here. But if hold on, what is that? No, I think that's that rasa fresh and fly. Anyway, so yeah, it's I of course I feel bad for him for this being the scandal that he has to be up under, but I need y'all to realize that not all of these young girls are victims. Not all of these young girls. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I forgot. We're talking about consent. If in that conversation, if there had been a text message exchange that says, "Hey, we're gonna talk a little rough back and forth. Are you cool with that? How far is cool? Is this an example? Is this good enough?" Okay, well, if you do, I'm cool with that too, and I kind of like that. If you do run across something that, feels a little bit like it's too much, please let me know. If that was in writing when they were having those kinky conversations, then he would be able to prove that that was just the way that they played. But because that consent conversation did not take place in writing, at least, there's no proof to say that she ever consented to being talked to like that or treated in that way. And so you leave too much open when you have millions to lose, especially when you can just pay me 60K and I'll make sure you keep your millions. 60K, that's all I need cash and not, 60K that's going to be taxed and get to 42. No, I need 60K. That's what I need. $60,000. So, um, I am currently putting together a program that kind of addresses this, and maybe I can get ahead of it in the future. I will say this: there is a pattern here. There's a pattern that you don't have to fall for. There's a pattern. Listen to your friends, listen to the people who care about you. Stop letting your trauma and your undisciplined penis ruin your legacy, ruin your ability to work. Just just think it through, man. Think it through. The It's really not worth it. It's a whole scandal. I remember seeing that he only gave his daughter, like, was it like $50,000 for her wedding? Let me see how much. I don't want to lie about that. Hold on. I'll be honest too. If I was his daughter, I'll probably be sending him laughing emojis. Like, daughters of dads and daughters are crazy. I'll definitely be in my dad's face. Especially if you was acting like that, like you was in here acting like I was finna break your bank and you just retired her. You not even retiring me. $30,000 for each of his um, daughter's weddings. So he and that money's never coming back to this community. Like, it's gone. A black person will never see a dime of that money again unless it's in a tip somewhere. She's not gonna buy FUBU. She not finna be in no videos. She not finna invest in black arts. She not finna do nothing with that money that has nothing to do with black folk. That's $23 million gone of our money no longer being circulated in the black community. Not even in the form of like inheritance for your kids. It's just millions of dollars wiped. That's why I think the work that I do is so important. I know that other people don't feel that way, but I can help stop this from happening. Like, if you let me, I can help this stop this from happening. Like, please. We gotta we don't have to do this. And again, you thinking that you are the predator here. You're thinking that, you're the one in charge, that, you're the one in control, and you are not. You have not done the proper things. You have not taken the proper precautions. You are not in control. And you are playing against a foe that is preferable to the system and has connections. You, again, 160 character consent text probably could have saved him $23 million. So I'm just saying, I think that what we do is a sham or whatever. I'm hopefully out here saving people millions of dollars. Hopefully. Ooh, what else has been going on? It was some other stuff going on. I think it's some scandals going on in like K-pop stuff, but that ain't my business. That is I don't know nothing about them people. Um I wonder what, like, when he go back on the show, like, what's gonna how do you, because like after the Michelle thing and the going live on Instagram, I was really disappointed in him, by the way. But that's when I first got the glimpses of that lack of sexual discipline, because like that's not even something that like a real G would do. Like, and I'm being so sincere. I think that everybody calling him uh out of his name or making suggestions about his sexuality caused him to do something that felt like something that a child would do. Not something I would expect from a 50-year-old. Like, oh, y'all think and you got a little bit of fame from that, and like I get that, but also like, why are you doing non-consensual acts like that? Because I don't know that that lady consented to that, and I don't know that if that's the same one from the video that he was talking about. Like, I don't know if that's her. But if that is, like, I did not consent to that. Like, I did not. You saying my name? Like, no. So it's just a lot of. There's a lot of little pieces to it, to maintaining sexual discipline, to understanding the importance of it. This is definitely a master class in why sexual discipline is important. They said that the amount of her settlement was the amount that he made in his full NFL career. All the years of his NFL career was the same amount of money that he just paid her for um, what he considers consensual play, what she considers as non consensual activities. So, if that is, and again, I don't want to make any speculations about the nature of the assault or anything like that, but if, depending on how that happened or what was the reason that it needed to be closed, case closed, or whatever, or settled out of court, I'm going to say this is not going to be the first, and it won't be the last. It wasn't the first. We all know that. But it won't be the last either. Because she didn't set the blueprint now. So the girlies have figured the game out. Go and find those undisciplined sexual entities and, start that relationship, and then get uh, get the documentation needed, get the ducks in order, and then sue. And y'all gonna keep on falling for it and keep on falling for it because of that elitist attitude, and because there is a preferential attachment to people who you have historically not had access to. Well, not supposed to have access to. You've always had access to them, but it was definitely not at it was at the dismay of their counterparts. They were not happy that you were a part of that. I read a story about that of course there were many men who slept with slaves um, during the during slavery here in America, but there were also very many women who did that, but the men didn't think that was cute at all. They didn't think that was cute at all, which is funny because, like, you going out there, I want to go out there too. Why are you the only one get to go out there? I'm gonna take me too. Shit. So, but yeah, I don't know. Ooh, there's so many things. There are so many different caveats to dating when you have money and fame, and even not even it's. I would separate the two of those because you don't always need money to have fame. I would actually say that was harder to just live in fame than it is to live in money and fame. And then people who live in money also live in a very different existence than people who live in fame. So, I mean, just depending on at any moment someone can come in and snatch a legacy. So, you need to be looking at yourself in this time when money is finna get tight, and shit's finna get real in the United States of America, at least. Um, we sorry, I just had um so I saw today, and this has nothing to do with nothing, and it's not a segue into nothing, but it's something that absolutely needs to be said. I saw today some of the pictures of the famine in Gaza, and I want you to know that no matter who you are or what blood you have coursing through your veins, that you are a troll. You are you are a callus on the ass of a humpback whale. Like you are a barnacle on the butt cheek. Like there is a there you are terrible. Y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible. We are terrible. Y'all are terrible. And I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. I don't give a fuck. What y'all are doing to those people, you will never be forgiven. And anytime that anybody asks me why I don't believe in God, it's that right there is because of that. It is because of Israelis. It is because of the way the Romans did. It is because of the way the Catholics move. I will never, ever, ever want to be in a space that you occupy, even if it's the afterlife. I will never. You are the scum of the earth to me, the scum of the earth. Those people have no food. And to be doing this over an imaginary, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Y'all are not important. You are not more important than other people. You are not. I know that everybody has told you that you are, but you are not. You are the same as everybody else on this planet. You are, it is the epitome of whiteness. Y'all are white people. Y'all are white people. You are not. I don't care what you serve. I don't care what your bloodline is. Because whiteness is a condition. It is a condition that lacks empathy. It is a condition that craves superiority. And that's what y'all are. I hope that you are never forgiven. I hope that your coronary arteries explode from the inside. Honestly, I do. I do. And there are so many um, there's so many genocides going on right now. There's genocide in the Congo. There's like we are mangling each other. We're mangling this planet, and it just feels so hopeless. Like I do not understand. I don't. I don't. Um, but I just had to say that. So free Palestine, free Gaza, free Congo. Man, y'all are terrible. Y'all are, and like if you hear some of the conversations, I seen this dude on some dudes on a podcast that was like, if he had a button, he would just push the button and blow them all up. You are a piece of shit. Like you, oh gosh, I will never, I will never, ever, ever return to any faith. Absolutely not. I don't want to be anywhere you are. Nope. Never gonna happen. So, um, be careful, be safe if you have. Make sure that you're looking for resources to help those that need, because we may very soon be people begging for resources from people who for help and shit. So, don't turn away, don't turn your eyes, because it could be us. It's likely going to be us. We are only 6 months into into this presidency. I heard that that I don't that Donald Trump had posted a fake AI video of Obama being arrested. So Obama posted a real video. Oh man. Stop playing those types of games. Okay, let's get our schedule for next week. Let me show you what's coming up. Oh man, embarrassing. He's so embarrassing. We're so embarrassing. The United States of America is embarrassing. All right, so here's our schedule for the week. Of course, Monday we are going to finish up our hygiene series, which is going to be part 3 of hygiene for college bound adults. If you have a college bound adult, you can have them watch and it will give them tools that they would need to make sure that their hygiene is in order for their first year of college. On Tuesday, we have Pleasure Tools Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to be talking about freaky sex furniture. I was excited about that. On Wednesday is Ask Coach Catasha, which is our live Q&A. You can stop by and ask your sexual health questions in the chat. If you don't want people in your business, you can send those sexual health questions to expressionoverrepression@gmail.com, and we can get those questions answered for you live on the show. Now, our live show get kind of spicy, so just a small little warning, not a big one, just a small one you get. And then Thursday at 12:30 p.m. is going to be Central Standard Time is Sex Tech Thursday, and we're going to be talking about queering reproduction. So this is just going to be the alternative ways of creating a family that move outside of the heteronormative procedures. And then Friday, of course, at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time is going to be Late Night with Coach Catasha. And we are going to be chatting about all things sex, love, and relationships. And just getting in people's business for a little bit, seeing what they got going on. I saw Glorilla said she was trying to get to Matthew McConaughey. I'm like, girl, I know that's right. I know that's right. She like a little old man. Okay. I also saw that like somebody had just broke into her place, and um she ended up getting arrested because they found some weed in her closet. So people broke into her house, but she had weed in her closet, and so they didn't. They took her to jail. That's what I be saying, man. Annoying. Hmm. Who we? Um. What else? What else? Let me check my chats. I ain't checked nothing this whole time. Hmm. Okay, okay. I need to figure out what's going on with that Twitter. I might try, with my um I gotta work all day tomorrow, and I'm talking about all day long. I gotta work all day. But I love what I do, so no tea, no shade. But I love um hanging out. Oh, you know what? I'm actually not gonna be here next Friday. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change the schedule because it shows me being recorded on August 1st. I might still. Maybe I still will. Yeah, I might still do that. I'll be ooh, I don't know if I'll have internet connection. Ooh, that's important. We'll see. I'll think about it. I'll think about it over the weekend. I don't know if I'll be here Friday. Actually, I don't know if I'll be here the next 2 Fridays. Actually. What edits did she make? Oh, she probably just came in here. Okay, okay, okay. Hoo, 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 hoo. Mmm. Ew, she making spinach dip. Oh, watch me doing that. Um. All right, all right. Okay, so anything else? Do y'all have something going on? Like, give me some of your business. Give me some of your tea. What y'all got going on? Oh, well, all right. Okay, so that is going to wrap us up for the day. We are going to meet back here on Monday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time for Sex Ed with Coach Catasha, where we are going to continue our Hygiene for College Bound Adult series. You can follow us on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Facebook. You can search Coach Catasha, and I should pop up in any of the search bars. I will see you then. Until Monday.